Okay, tier 2, we are in core activation. Here we go. So the first thing is going to be a glute hamstring activating exercise. That means backside, butt stuff. So what you're going to need is some sort of wall or maybe a chair or a bench that you could put your feet on. Now, it works really well if you just get your feet close to a wall, and you'll see how I demonstrate. But I'm going to be laying on my back to begin with. Okay. Now imagine maybe if you don't have a ball, which is totally fine. This works perfectly well if you don't have a ball either. But this could be my wall, right? So imagine my feet are flat on the wall like this. Okay. The wall is flush with the bottom of my feet, and then you push your hips up just like I'm about to do. It's going to work exactly the same way. My glutes and hamstrings are going to work perfectly well, just as if I had my feet on a wall or a ball. Obviously, the ball is a little bit more unstable, so you'll see that I'll be wiggling around and whatnot. But all you're going to do, if you have the wall or if you have a bench, okay, you're going to push your hips up off the ground 3 inches, okay, literally 3 inches or so. Now, what I'm going to do, obviously, you're going to see my feet are pushing more on top of the ball, pushing down. As I said, it doesn't change anything. It's just a little bit different apparatus. So we can do 2 different things with our arms. We could either push our hands into the ground like so, and that's going to activate my triceps and lats a little bit differently. Or I can open up my arms like so, as if the field goal was good, and that's going to open my posture. So you either want to activate the shoulders more by pushing down, or you want to open your posture more by pulling your arms back and open like this. Now, as I said, we're going to push our hips up 3 inches. What I'm thinking about, whether or not my feet are on the ball or the wall, is to drive through my heels, pushing through the heels to think about my glutes working more than my hamstrings. What I tend to notice in my clients and myself is if you're not really focusing on how the glutes are working, then the hamstrings are going to want to work more, okay? Because our hamstrings are tight, they just tend to want to do that. Because our glutes aren't turned on quite well when we're sitting a lot at work, they just don't want to turn on quite as well. So what you have to do is really think about it. And the way you think about it is just by focusing on the sensation that's happening there, and also by driving through the heels to begin to push and turn them on by doing that. So as I said, 3 inches off the ground, all you're going to do is hold. Okay? Get in tune with the sensations. Notice what you feel. Also, notice my breath here. I'm going to deeply inhale. Exhale. Stomach is rising and falling. So if you do the breathing properly, it's also going to activate your transverse abdominis, which is never a bad thing. The primary goal, though, feel the glutes, feel the hamstrings, then work on the breath, engage the TVA as you inhale and exhale. Okay, so you're going to do that for about a minute. If you want to go longer, you may. If you're a stronger person, if you're used to lifting weights, then you could probably go 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and that's fine. Now the next one you're going to do is you're going to do, what you're going to need is essentially some sort of stick. I have a broom to show you today. A wooden dowel, PVC pipe works well. Just make sure it's light, okay? You don't want anything too heavy. Now this exercise activates the obliques. So the obliques are the muscle group that run along sides of our body, and they help us rotate, okay? We talked about the thoracic spine earlier in the mobility section of the workout. To be able to twist well, we need to make sure our thoracic spine is mobilized, and which basically means if you want to turn well in whatever you do, you also have to have strong obliques. So we mobilize the thoracic spine first. Now we're going to activate the obliques. And it's also aesthetically nice. You know, when you have nice obliques, you can kind of see the ribs and edges around the sides of the body. A lot of people like that. So what you're going to need, as I said, is your broomstick, whatever you're going to use. And you're going to put your arms out in front of you, shoulder level, okay, together. So I have my fists, hands together here. I'm going to step close to the wall that I have, okay, so that the edge of my stick or broom is touching the wall. And you can see that the broom is parallel with the ground, right? At the same level of my hands. My feet are shoulder width apart, thinking about gripping the ground with my toes. Now where the real work is to be done is by driving the stick into the wall. Now when I do this, you're not going to see anything happen because the wall is stopping me from rotating this way. But this would be the motion. Okay, so if you think twist and turn into the wall, you'll feel the obliques activate. So this is me activating. And it doesn't need to be intense. It can be intense. You can push extremely hard, drive through the wall as much as you want without breaking drywall down. And you're going to feel the obliques really nicely activate. You're going to notice the arms and shoulders begin to get warmed up as well. So those are getting warmer. You're going to breathe, just as we talked about in the previous exercise. Inhale, exhale. Okay, anytime we're holding something, you really want to focus on that breath. So you're going to push 1 minute per side. So if I was going to push to my right first, I then turn around and push 1 minute to my left, obviously. Okay, that's that one. The very last core exercise is going to be another standing one. This is called a cross crawl. It also incorporates the breath really in sync with the movement. So bear with me, watch the movement, then I'll describe the breath, and then play with it from there. So we're going to balance on one foot first. Choose a foot to balance on. I'm balancing on my left foot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to inhale my left hand up. So I'm balancing on my left foot. Inhale my left hand up just to begin. Exhale, pull my left elbow to my right knee. Oh, lost my balance. Inhale up, reaching towards the sky, opening your body. Notice my right leg is not touching the ground. It's going to kick back, not touching the ground. Exhale, together again. So it's like doing a cross crunch, right? A lot of people do these things on the ground, right? Where you're trying to touch your elbows to your knees. It's doing that, but standing. So we get the oblique rectus abdominis engagement here, but my left leg and glute are working at the same time. So there's a lot of things going on. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And notice how slowly I'm moving. This is not good, okay? There's no control in that. Your core is not going to get as good of a workout if you were to go slow and focus on the squeeze here. And a lot of us might not even get elbow to knee. That's okay. Just go as high as you can go or as close together as you can go. Do 15 each side there, okay? That's going to take some time. Don't rush. The balance is very important. And if you do lose your balance, just reset, okay? Tap your toes if you need to regain your balance, and then begin again, okay? The goal is, though, to keep your foot off the ground. 1 foot on the ground at all times. Those are the 3 core activating exercises. Enjoy them. 2 or 3 sets of each per usual, your choice. And I'll see you in tier 3.